It's time for Tech News, where we bring you all the news and none of the olds from the world of technology. Oh, is that a VCR? Get it out of here! Blah, it makes me nauseous. Amazon Web Services just announced its own chatbot, 2 new server chips, as well as an expansion of its partnership with NVIDIA to use their chips, just in case. The new chips include the ARM-based Graviton 4 with 96 cores and up to 45% faster performance than its predecessor, and the Trainium 2, an AI accelerator with 4 times the performance and twice the energy efficiency. Announcing these chips while acting as if they're not going to drop NVIDIA as soon as they physically can actually isn't that weird. Being able to offer customers access to hardware from either company helps Amazon. What is weird is the name they gave their new enterprise-focused chatbot, Q. Now, if that sounds familiar, it may be because of last week's story about OpenAI's secret algorithm called Q-Star, said to be a massive breakthrough in the development of AGI, which supposedly led to all that Sam Altman drama, although it's largely being dismissed as rumors now. AI researchers are notorious for their love of hot goss.
They call it hallucinating.
You will never guess what my chatbot said. Wow. Now, it's unlikely that Amazon's Q has anything to do with that, because it's not built on OpenAI's tech, but rather on multiple LLMs from Anthropic and Meta, as well as Amazon's own Titan family of models. The Q name is apparently a reference to the character Q from James Bond, the franchise that Amazon owns through its subsidiary MGM. Because asking a chatbot to produce a questionably accurate summary of your Q4 sales is just like getting a cool laser watch. It's not, and I'm upset about it. I want the watch. Nearly 4,000 auto dealers throughout the US have published an open letter asking the federal government to slow down its plans for mass EV adoption, because even with a significant tax credit subsidy, unsold EVs are clogging their lots, like oil clogged dinosaur arteries millions of years ago. That's how they died.
French fries.
They ate too many. Strangely, US EV sales are on course to hit a record high this year at 9% of all vehicles sold. Yet, those are still rookie numbers compared to EVs making up 33% of vehicle sales in China, 35% in Germany, and 90% in Norway. Those guys love electricity. They shock themselves for fun. Oh, Sven, stop. The White House wants half of new cars sold in the US to be EVs by 2032, and 9 states have plans to ban the sale of new gasoline vehicles by 2035, not including plug-in hybrids. Now, this wouldn't eliminate gas vehicles because the average car stays on the road for around 12 years, which may come as a shock if you, like the writer of this episode, Jessica, own a car that's old enough to legally marry.
But still young enough to date Leonardo DiCaprio.
I hope you get to drive it down the aisle one day. The federal government has earmarked $5 billion to invest in a national network of charging stations, but most people are buying new cars for where they can go now, not where they think they might be able to go a few years from now. Hybrids, meanwhile, are apparently flying off the shelves even faster than traditional gas vehicles, validating the more cautious approach of Akio Toyoda, chairman of Toyota, who isn't saying, "I told you so," but that's probably because he's speaking Japanese. He's saying something, what? Simasen. Online developer conference DevTernity has been canceled following the revelation that an organizer, Eduard Sizovs, apparently just made up several female speakers at the conference, fabricating their biographies and credentials entirely from whole cloth. If he had used cloth, that might have been a bit better. It was just nothing.
Just a mannequin.
These fake speakers first came to broad attention after Gergely Oroch, writer of tech newsletter Pragmatic Engineering, pointed out on Twitter that 2 out of 3 of the event's female speakers didn't appear to exist. Not only that, but many female speakers at other events run by the same organizer didn't exist either, except as a fake bio and an AI-generated image of a pretty young woman. At least one of the fake women, Julia Kursina, had a social media account that often posted the exact same content as that of the organizer, word for word, but with the addition of a flirty wink or kiss emoji. Are you a woman and haven't been using those? You're doing it wrong. Seesoft's claimed that one of the fake women was a demo persona from their test website that was mistakenly included in the speaker list. Yeah, he totally wasn't trying to catfish prominent male tech speakers with inclusivity requirements into participating in his conference by pretending that a bunch of hot chicks were gonna be there. That's not, who would do that?
It's gonna be totally cool, guys.
It's an online only conference.
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Manscaped. If you're feeling a little overgrown, trim your hedges the easy way with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Its trimmer blade and foil blade are interchangeable, so you can leave a touch of grass on your front lawn or leave it as bare as a baby's backyard. And to navigate through those more verdant spots, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra's LED lights can help you see right through the shrubbery. Plus, it's portable and charges with a USB-C cable, allowing you to whack weeds almost anywhere and anytime the mood suits you. Check out the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra at manscaped.com/techlinked and use code TechLinked for 20% off and free shipping.
What now? What is it, boy? The Quick Bits fell down a well? It's the 6th time this week. What am I doing? Apple has reportedly sent a proposal to Goldman Sachs to end their banking partnership within the next 12 to 15 months, according to sources familiar with the matter who spoke to the Wall Street Journal. That doesn't necessarily mean that Apple's savings accounts and credit cards are coming to an end, just that Apple would need to find another issuing partner sometime over the coming year. It would be a major surprise, however, because the program was extended to 2029 only last year as part of Goldman's pivot to Main Street, where they would offer services to retail customers, aka people without yachts. However, shortly after, that effort led to significant losses, leading Goldman to really reconsider this whole working with the poors thing. It's just not reliable.
Was it the whales? Did the whales get your yacht too?
Some US Postal Service offices are apparently unable to deliver mail on time because of a service agreement to cheaply deliver packages for Amazon in rural areas. In November, this deal was implemented in Bemidji, Minnesota, where carriers are now being told to prioritize Amazon packages and being forced to work overtime with scheduled sick days banned for the rest of the year. Delivery companies in San Juan County, Washington are accusing Amazon of diverting more packages to USPS since November as the county's post offices face similar issues. But don't worry, any overworked mail carriers with Prime memberships can get same-day delivery on a new piss jug. Sony has announced a new firmware license that will allow photography enthusiasts to add 4 custom original grid lines to their Alpha 7 IV camera's viewfinder, all for the low price of $150. For a PNG. A7 IV users have been asking for more significant firmware updates, but this is probably not what they had in mind. According to Sony, these fancy new lines will help shutterbugs take more consistent photos. In their announcement, Sony then listed a random assortment of places you could take those photos, like schools, photo studios, theme parks, cruise ships, and malls, followed by a bunch of large block quotes in a manner that says, "B student desperately trying to fill a word count."
You can take a picture of your dog, your kids.
Think of all the things you could take pictures of. I mean, rocks. Maybe it is worth $150. Benchmarks for the first Ryzen Z1 mini PC, the Phoenix Edge, ooh, I like it, are out. Unfortunately, even though the unit is rated for 54 watts, testing by YouTuber ETA Prime indicates it maxes out at 40 watts before throttling. The Ryzen Z1 is best known for powering the non-extreme version of the ROG Ally. The manufacturer has plans for an Z1 Extreme mini PC, likely meaning that this particular product is going straight into the bargain bin if it ever manages to hit shelves. Tried.
3 points.
Swing and a miss. And a web browser for Android TV keeps getting banned for being a web browser. First, Israeli TV companies DMCA'd the app, called Downloader, for allowing users to view a pirating website.
Just looking at it.
You can't do that with other browsers. And this week, an anti-piracy group called MarkScan issued a DMCA because Downloader was infringing on the copyrighted work of properties of Warner Bros. Discovery, Inc., and an authorized example of the work could be seen at warnerbros.com. You can't actually watch anything on Warner Brothers' website, so I guess they're accusing Downloader of accessing a website. Man, wait until they find out about Google Chrome. It can access all the websites. Google.com, rocks. And you'll have to wait until Friday to find out more tech news. I mean, unless you go somewhere else for your news, but you wouldn't do that, right? That would be kind of cringe.